Tax Tip Tuesday, and that means principal and senior attorney with the firm, Travis W. Watkins, is here with me today, and we're going to be talking about a Tinker employee who really had a great outcome after coming to you. But first, there's something new that has just come down the pike, right?
Yeah, this just came up recently. The IRS has announced that they're going to go ahead for the 2018 tax year, which is going to be due April 15th, and they're going to, just as of right, forgive penalties and interest for employees who didn't withhold enough on their tax returns for 2018. So if they didn't make the right withholding amounts, and that's a pretty common deal because right in the middle of about 2018 we saw people having to adjust their deal
to make up for that.
Yeah, to make up for that. The Trump tax plan was touted as something that's going to save everybody all this money, and it has for some people, but a lot of people it didn't, and they didn't withhold enough.
And they're going to feel it come this year, but
they're
now
going to feel it. Right.
They're giving them a break.
They're going to give them a little bit of a break,
Wow.
which is huge news.
Yeah, that is huge.
Yeah,
I
it is.
I think I'm one of those people. I'm excited. All right, so let's get back to the Tinker employee.
Sure.
Now, he came to you initially for what?
Yeah, he had a really bad deal going. He lost everything back in 2011 with the tornadoes that were running through Moore. He lost his home, lost a lot of his belongings, and he didn't have homeowners insurance, which is a really terrible thing here. He had to kind of put life back together there on his own, and what he did was he took out some money from his retirement, from his 401k, and when you do that, when you do it early,
You're mandated to pay it back, and with penalty, right?
Right, you get a penalty on this thing of 10% of what you're taking out. Plus that money's coming back to you as like income, so it may raise your income there, your taxable income.
Oh boy.
It may also bump you into another tax bracket in some situations, and that's what happened with this guy. He had his brother-in-law do his tax return for him the next year, which that sounds like so common, sounds almost made up, but it was his brother-in-law that did it. He was not a tax professional. He messed up. He didn't list that money that came in from the 401k, and it was about a $9,000 mistake.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And that can really affect my man. He works at Tinker, so he's got clearance for security, things like that.
Right. Great point.
Yeah, I mean that could affect that, I imagine.
For sure. Yeah. In this case, he actually did go to a tax professional after he got the bill, and this thing had ballooned up to about $20,000 by the time that he did actually seek help. He went to a large firm in Norman, and it sat there for a while, and what happened was he got levied in the process of all this stuff hanging out there. And when you get levied, your employer's going to find out because your wages are going there.
Garnished.
And being garnished, exactly. And as you point out, for Defense Department employees, they'll lose their clearance, their security clearance, if they owe taxes. And it's pretty brutal, but that's just the way that it is.
So how did you fix this problem?
Yeah. With all the terrible things that were going on in this gentleman's life, the IRS was actually pretty receptive to going ahead and knocking off all of those penalties and interest that had accrued with this gentleman's tax liability. So about $9,000 worth of it got taken off because of the circumstances that were going on in his life. This was a one-time deal for him also. He had plenty of good, history of paying on time. He just hit the ropes.
No, he did. I mean, it was like the triple whammy,
totally.
coming in. Absolutely.
Totally. It's a terrible deal, but it worked out well for him. I mean, he was so excited. He brought 2 bags of Hershey's Kisses for his for the girl that worked on his case.
Oh, really?
He said he didn't want to, get accused of the Me Too movement or anything like that. So he brought Hershey's Kisses instead of real kisses. But he was excited, and we were excited for him.
Boy, that's a happy outcome.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the Travis W. Watkins Tax Resolution and Accounting Firm, they can be found at 3033 Northwest 63rd Street. It's Suite 200E. Give them a call, 405-543-1684, and you can find them online. Easy peasy. It's okctaxsolutions.com.